So, good evening. We're back again. Buenas noches y buen viendo. Yeah. A un nuevo espectáculo con Henry Wright TV. Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to a brand spanking new show with Henry Wright TV. Man's come with the shades on. They're trying to see the vision of Conte. He's come with the Italian flag. He's come with his Spurs shirt on. You might get kicked off real quick, you know. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all good. Well, a bit better than all good. I'm ecstatic, you know. Couldn't believe the news. One of my favourite managers, one of the best managers in the world, has joined our football club. Yeah, all good.
Listen, big up to everyone watching as well. I totally cocked up because I put this in for 8 p.m. UK time. I've done this 3 times this week, put it in for an hour later than I should have done. So if everyone could like the video, that'd be great. Also, Henry's got a channel. It's pinned to the comments. So make sure you go and subscribe to him right now. And it's also in the title of the video. You can just click on the link. It won't take you away from here. But let's wind it back a little bit. Let's go back to Nuno before we come on. You're going to do this in the shades all the way, yeah?
Probably, yeah, I don't know. I'll do it the whole way.
My shades. These lights are blinding me. But let's go back to Nuno, because like give the people that don't know your thoughts on it. Like, was you happy with Nuno when you first signed him, or did you think, nah, this is a backward step?
The club, in my opinion, the club made a massive mistake because Nuno was not ready for that job. What, in a million days, he would never have actually got decent results. His football was very similar to Jose, but Jose knew how to get the most out of these players. Jose's the sort of manager where you run through walls for him. And I said that in my video on Twitter the other day. If you don't perform with Jose, you're out. Nuno come in, it was kind of very, what's the word? Demoralising, I guess you could say. We brought him in and it was kind of like, oh, why have we got Nuno? Had a sinking ship at Wolves, in my opinion. Did very well when he had Neto, Jimenez, Doherty. Had a few injuries, finished, I think, 13th. Then we signed him and I was like, why have we done this? We was on the verge of signing Conte in the summer and it fell through due to some staffing issues and the finance. He wasn't assured that it was going to be there. We brought him in and the football was absolutely horrendous. We didn't register a shot on target against Man United. We didn't register a shot on target against West Ham. We were firing blanks. He took Harry Kane into one of the best strikers in the world to, you know, he could have been dropped from our team. It was absolutely, I'll be honest, mate, it was fucking diabolical. You know, the thing is, when the first 3 games of the season, I think we won all 3, didn't concede a goal. And obviously you lot were struggling. You were right down there. People were talking about relegation. Obviously, you were never going to get relegated. But fair play to Arteta. He kind of turned it round to a degree. And since then, your results have been a lot better. We, after the first 3 games, under Nuno, we never won a game absolutely convincingly. Yeah, we want to beat Man City, but it was 1 goal. We beat Watford for a set piece. We beat Wolves for a penalty. You know, you're winning games, but are you actually dominating the play? Look at you against Leicester. I never for a million years thought you were going to concede a goal, and I never for a million years thought you'd actually lose that game because you were in complete control, regardless if you only had 45% possession or whatever it was. With us, it was like, boy, honestly, mate, I was looking in, like, your whole mood around football drops when your team's playing shocking and you're getting slapped every single week by, you know, teams like in the Europa League Vitesse, going away from home, playing the players that are supposed to be fighting in for our first team, and then we get absolutely embarrassed and outplayed by Vitesse. Like,
that's Chelsea's feeder team. Right, they feed all their kids through to that.
It's embarrassing. I think Mason Mount played for them once, and we got absolutely outplayed. They deserved it. We bring in Conte, and it just lifts the entire fan base because, you know, we're not going to go and get top 4 or maybe win a trophy, but you just know he's going to get more out of these players. Like, you haven't got to be a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist to see that Harry Kane will start scoring goals now. You know, he put out a statement saying that he's very happy that Conte's come in and you know, the whole mood's lifted. I think that's a bit shit from him, I'm not going to lie, because regardless of the manager, you still put effort in. But yeah, people will shame on me and say, look, you got an Italian flag because they won Euros. I don't care, mate. Antonio,
no. That comment, he was going, does this guy Henry think he's cold just because his name consists of 2 legendary strikers?
I've had that all my life, mate. All of my life I've had that. Oh, I've got Arsenal all my life.
It's mad though, because when Nuno went there, like, I don't think you should have sacked Jose when you sacked him. You should just let him have the rest of the season because he got you to a final, which is what you signed him for, to get you to win trophies. Like, and then you sacked him 5-6 days before the final. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how many managers Daniel Levy has employed and sacked now in his reign.
It's 20. I think it's around 20.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's got to be touching 20. For me, he's your biggest problem, right? Because
always has been.
Yeah, people say that, oh yeah, but he's really good in the transfer market. He's really like shrewd, and and he always gets the most money and this and that. And I just look at it and I think, like, yeah, you got big money for Gareth Bale, and the only one that was any good out of the players you brought was Eriksen.
Eriksen, probably, in Vertonghen, you could argue.
Yeah, Vertonghen was decent, to be fair. But other than that,
the thing is with Levy, he just penny pinches. Like, he expects players out of Selfridges and Harrods, but we shop in Poundland. Like, you went out and spent 150 million, right? You could probably do that 3 or 4 times the amount of money Kroenke's got. We go out and go, right, we want to get a Ronaldo type player, so let's go buy a flipping Nkadu from Lyon, who drops 1 goal and 1 assist in around 40 games. Like, honestly, the recruitment the last decade has been diabolical. Like, some of these guys, Paulinho, we brought in because he had a good couple of games for Brazil. What did he do? Nothing. We sold him to Barcelona and they got rid of him and got him out to China. It's been absolutely horrendous. Since Harry Kane's been there, we haven't signed a world-class player. And people will come and say, what about Son? But when we signed Son from Leverkusen, he wasn't world-class at the time. We brought in Gareth Bale past his best. We haven't, whereas, you brought in Mesut Ozil at the time was at his peak of his powers at Real Madrid. Alexis Sanchez was unbelievable for you. Like Fabregas, Van Persie. The list goes on and on. Before we had Daniel Levy, was averaging 2.1 trophies a decade, I think the stat was. Now we're averaging 0.3. We haven't won a trophy since 2008, mate. You said it on screen. The team we played in the Conference League wasn't even founded before the last time we won a trophy. Like, honestly.
It's actually mad. Yeah, Mora was founded after you last won a trophy. Like, that's actually insane, really. It's mad. And the thing is, like, I know you're playing tonight. You're playing in, 34 minutes from now. You've gone with a strong team tonight as well. We're just talking backstage about that. And I think he just wants to get off to a win. Like, start with a win. But obviously, Tobes. Yeah, and he did the Antonio, and we just ripped him apart, all summer. We were like, mate, nobody wants to come to your dead club. Right? And then he's been proven right in the end. And that video's resurfaced again. He's been so over the top. I'm in a group chat with him, Corey and Matisse. I was like, I'm going to have to block you if you carry on.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to have to block you if you carry on. But the thing is, like, me looking as an outsider, like, with sacking Nuno, was like, okay, well, you've given yourself the best opportunity now with the longest amount of games left to go and win. And there you go, you can see now.
No, mate, it's just after a while sitting indoors, I was like, what am I look like a flipping Ozzy Osbourne in here, mate.
But yeah, giving yourself the best chance now with the most amount of games left, 28 league games left. I don't think any Tottenham fan thought that Conte, like, because of what happened in the summer, I don't think anyone expected, or any football fan expected Conte. I was on a show with Grizz, and Toby said, no, Conte and Mancini, managers like that, they're out of reach. The next day, Conte's on a plane and he's coming to sign for Spurs, and we're like, hang on a minute.
You got to give Levy and Paratici, our director of football, some credit. Paratici worked with Conte at Juventus, so there's a bit of history there when they went on that 9 league titles in a row. It started off with Paratici and Conte, and he's very good at making like free transfers. He brought in Pirlo, Ramsey, Rabiot, Pogba. The list goes on and on. But when we got rid of Nuno, we waited 72 days to get Nuno, the longest wait in a managerial hunt in Premier League and top 5 league history. 72 days. Real Madrid sacked Zidane or whatever it was. He left. They got Ancelotti within 4 days. We waited 72 days for a 2.0 Mourinho. Like, can you imagine we've recruited Mourinho's goalkeeper when he was at Porto? Like, can you imagine we've waited 72 days for this just to go, have a couple of months and then let's give you 5 or 6 million payout and let's go pay 21 million a year now for Conte, the second highest paid manager in the league behind Guardiola. So from the club's perspective, he's got to come in and make results. Like, I'm still absolutely convinced that we will not get top 4 because I think our squad is not good enough, regardless of the manager we've got. Unless Kane and Son absolutely turn it on for the next 15 or so games and start stat padding again. But Arsenal, the top 4 this season, Arsenal could get there. people will laugh, but at the end of the day, with no European football, like I know you're a massive Arteta out fan, but with no European football, you're playing well at the moment. Let's not get it twisted. Like Ramsdale turns into prime Gordon Banks and saves a James Maddison free kick. You know, Aubameyang and Smith Rowe, and you can bring on Odegaard. You got Pepe, who in my opinion is one of your best players.
Mate, try telling that to this fan base. Yeah,
I don't get it. Like he cuts in the left like Mahrez, and 9 times out of 10 it's curtains. And you look at your squad, it's probably better than ours. We don't have a playmaker.
Because
we haven't got a playmaker, Lee.
It's funny because
Harry Kane.
Yeah, but do you know what? Right, when I did the show yesterday with Toby and that, I was sitting there arguing with him for ages and said you can get top 4, and he was like, no, but I've not seen many Tottenham fans say, yep, that's it, top 4 now. You're only 5 points off, and if he gets Kane and Son firing like they were last season at the beginning of the season, and then you get him Ndombele, he's a quality player. You've got him there. You've got Lucas Moura, who I think has been your best player this season.
Conte wanted him at Milan and Ndombele, so there will be like, okay, let's see what you got, sort of thing.
And then you've got Højbjerg, he's decent. Reguilon's decent. Your centre back Romero's decent. It's like you've got some decent players there, and then you've got like the likes of Dele Alli and Eric Dyer and players like that. And it's like, I look at it and I just think the difference that separates you from us in a top 4 race. We ain't in a race, mate. Yeah, like we've got 1 week, 1 game, right? And we are playing half decent at the minute. Like we're not convincing for 90 minutes. We're convincing for 30 minutes. Then it's park the bus. Yeah, and it's like the same against you lot when we played you. Battered you for 30 minutes. After that, like if Lucas's shot goes in and Ramsdale don't make a worldie, it's 3-2 with 3 minutes left. So it's like in the same against Leicester. If he don't make a worldie, and it was a worldie, then it's 2-1 going into half time, and all of a sudden it's a different game. It's like when your goalkeeper's constantly man of the match, that can't be sustained. Because and your defensive players and your goalkeeper are always man of the match, then it means you're not attacking, you're defending more, right? So I don't think that can be sustained. And the difference that separates you from us and United is, albeit you might think we've got better squads, and Man United have got a better squad than us both, right? You just look at it and think, you've got the best manager, and he's won the league before. He's been in the league. Yeah, and he will out-tactic most managers in this league. Yeah, pretty much most of them, because if you want to set formation...
Where'd you rank him intensive managers? Because you've got Tuchel,
third best.
Guardiola... What would you say? Klopp, Guardiola, the top 2, and then...
Yeah, and then him.
When you look at tacticians, Tuchel has to be up there for me. Like, he has Pep rattled. He outplayed him in the Champions League, right? Okay, fair enough, they won at the Bridge this season, but Chelsea were on a bit of a bad patch. And they've got more injuries than the squad out in Afghanistan getting shot by the flipping Taliban, mate. They're getting pummeled. You look at, Tuchel, people need to not sleep on him. Like, he's winning the league with their right back as their top goal scorer.
At the moment, yeah. He's doing well. He's got that defence rocking at the minute, right? And they went to Anfield and probably should have won with 10 men. But at the same time, like I'd do it as an overall. Yeah, and it's like, not just on the previous, like the now form, like over the last couple of years or whatever. I'd say Tuchel's behind Conte overall in the last few years or so. And the reason I think that is, if you look at the job that he did Inter, he took them to a Europa League final against Sevilla and lost. And he took them 1 point behind Juve, and they were 20 points behind the season before. Then last season, walks the title. Yeah, and it's like
Young and Victor Moses at wing backs.
Mate, Darmian, Victor Moses, like Ashley Young, like fucking who else did he have in his team?
He had Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku, which were the standouts. But like a lot of people don't give him credit for what he did with Eriksen. When Eriksen went there, the first 3 months he was struggling, not getting any game time, and then he turned it round, and then we started getting things out of Eriksen. But with Conte, I just love the passion. Like, I'm a big passion merchant. Like, players like Højbjerg, Romero for us, I love it. Like, I'll be running up and down them stands with my Italian flag going absolutely bonkers. I love that passion. With Nuno, the guy's got about as much personality as a goldfish, right? Like when we get through to the Champions League final, Pochettino comes in, starts beating the shit out of a whiteboard, shouting at Vamos. That's the sort of shit I want to see, not some puppet being controlled by Levy. And Conte's not the sort of manager where if you start underperforming or you start calling out. He will literally like break you.
Do you know what I like about Conte is the fact that he left Inter Milan because they didn't want to buy. They had to sell to buy. And he was like, listen, you fuckers, I've just won you a title for the first time in a decade and I've been here 2 years, right? I've won you a title. Now give me some dough. Yeah, give me some dough and I'll go again and I'll win it again because everyone else is going to catch up. And they said, no, you have to sell to buy. And he went, yeah, fucking rip my contract up. See you later. I like that because that means he wants to win. He don't just want to play catch up, yeah, or rest on his laurels from winning it the season before. There ain't many people within football and football clubs that want to do that. Like I was speaking to Rance the other day and said that how many clubs actually want to fucking win? Like you got the 3 at the top of the table right now. Yeah, after that, nobody else wants to win. They just want to make up the numbers and get fourth. Yeah, and then get the Champions League money to then not win the Champions League and then rinse and repeat it again. If you come first, I think you get about 180 million. If you come second, you get about 160. If you come fourth, I think you still get about 100 odd. Yeah, so what's the incentive to go and spend a little bit extra to go and win the league when you're already going to get 100 odd million quid anyway? Yeah, there's no incentive. And our clubs and Man United have fallen into that. And they've done it because of the globalization of football. Big stadiums, mass income. Yeah, then obviously COVID hit and lockdowns and that. And Jez was telling me the other day that a beer at the Emirates is £7.
It's a joke. It's ridiculous.
But before lockdown, it was £5.50. Yeah, so they've got a beer up £1.50 a fucking pint, mate.
Do you know how much it is for a packet of crisps? Right, a packet of Walker's cheese and onion crisps at Tottenham's ground.
Go on.
£1.75. You can get a bag of 6 for £1 in Tesco sometimes. Like these guys, honestly, Daniel Levy, right? When he brought this stadium, it was state of the art. The area of Tottenham, in my opinion, is not the best. It's a bit like a zombie apocalypse at times. No offense if anyone actually lives in Tottenham. He brings his spaceship of a stadium, right? Which stands out like a sore thumb, but he doesn't improve the area. When Emirates was built, they kind of tried to improve the area around.
Yeah. We funded loads of stuff, man. Like
this is what I'm saying. All we funded.
Yeah, we covered loads of local businesses to relocate and stuff like that.
This is what I'm saying. Do you know what we did? Right? We bought a kebab shop. That's generally what we did, and I'm not even taking the piss. They bought the pub, the kebab shop, and part of the school.
No, so Tottenham own that. Yeah,
so Tottenham own part of it. It's ridiculous. Like Daniel Levy will do whatever he can to penny pinch. Like, some of the transfers we've lost out in the last 2 seasons. Bruno Fernandes was on the verge of signing for Tottenham, and we signed Giovanni Lo Celso, who's one of the worst players I've ever seen in my life. Philippe Coutinho, Dybala, Ruben Diaz, all heavily linked with Tottenham. But we just go and buy absolute clowns. Like Eric Lamela managed to stay at this club for 7 years without even scoring 20 Premier League goals. Alexis Sanchez got that in half a season. Like honestly, mate. So
but he's a hero, mate. He scored a fucking goal against us. A little flick. What's it called? What's the fucking skill move?
Rabona. He scored 2 Rabonas.
That's it.
That's all he did. Like the level of player, this is arguably the worst squad we've had since Harry Redknapp. And Harry Redknapp managed to get top 4 with Peter Crouch and Defoe up front. Now it's
you beat us with Redknapp. We were 2-0 up. It was last time you beat us. We were 2-0 up at home. You beat us 3-2. Yunus Kabul.
The only win we've had at the Emirates since it opened in the Premier League. That grand opened in 2006. Honestly, mate, the thing that I'm questioning the most is why is Antonio coming to Tottenham if he wants to win? They must have said when he's sitting down, he must have had Levy over a table like this and saying, "Look, I want to win. You've got to give me some transfer funds," because Paratici has a massive network of scouts in Italy, right? He's looking at Inter Milan, he's looking at Juventus, trying to pick up some of their players that are not playing so well, give them to Tottenham. But Tottenham don't look at it like that. We're owned by an investment firm. So we look at players like assets. We buy Dele Alli for 5 million in 2 seasons. We could sell him on for 50. We don't look at what they can bring to the squad. Like Smith Rowe comes through, now he's a first-team starter. You won't sell him. You'll keep hold of him for love or money unless it's Man United or Man City, because they're the only 2 clubs you seem to sell to. With us, right? Wolverhampton Wanderers could come in for a bid and we'd be interested in it. Our owners are absolute clowns, mate.
No, I want to ask you this, right? Because your owner, Joe Lewis, lives on a nice, massive yacht in the Caribbean. loving life, sitting there sipping champagne. Like he's probably got some 20-year-old bird. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
20-year-old brass.
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, probably flown in straight on the helipad on the yacht. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bish bash bosh. But do you think it is him that's the problem, or do you think it's the Levy? And I know he employs Levy, but this goes back to what I said earlier. What's the incentive for our clubs to actually want to win? Because the money now, like, and I know you've got the stadium, you've got to pay for that. The way you finance the payments on that, you actually work out paying, although ours is paid now. Stan Kroenke paid it off and refinanced it, so we owe him, right? But the way you structured that payment on a stadium that cost double ours, the payments every year were cheaper than what we paid every year on the Emirates, right?
No, I don't know how he does it. I'm not. He's a fantastic businessman, but he does not have a football brain. See, Joe Lewis owns, I think he owns around 72% of the club, and Daniel Levy owns the rest. Joe Lewis is 83 years old and is only allowed in the country 4 days at a time due to tax reasons. He can't come in. If he comes in for more than 4 days, he has to be in court.
That's mad.
Because he's either got a Jewish and a Caribbean passport or something like that. So due to tax reasons, he's only allowed 4 days at a time. So he comes over like 1 day a year. Last year he didn't come over, obviously, because of COVID, and the year before he didn't come over. But Daniel Levy will always get all the stick because he's the face of the football club. Like Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, they're always going to get the stick. Or who's that other clan you've got as a director of football who wasn't doing transfers, he was out skiing?
Fucking Edu.
Yeah, clown.
Yeah,
Why
on his jet
ain't he a
ski.
director of football, mate? Like,
mate, yeah, but this is what our clubs have turned into. And I have this conversation every week with Rants as well, because when I was growing up, it was Arsenal, Man United. Yeah, even before Wenger, yeah, it was Arsenal, Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham. They're the two rival, yeah, like the teams we hate. I wouldn't say necessarily rivals, yeah. Right, and I want to ask you that in a minute, right? But it was like, I remember us like having games before Wenger, Arsenal, Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United. And it was always like, I really want to beat them, but it's not the be all and end all, yeah? Because there is another fucking 18 teams in the league, right? And it's like, I just look at it now and I just think the way all three of these clubs have gone, they're just disinterested. It's like, we can make maximum money for doing minimal work. We don't have to supply a top team. We don't even need to be in Europe, because what we do is we know that we've got, it's supply and demand. Your stadium's sold out every week. Yeah,
they sold out tonight for the first time in the Conference League just because of Conte.
Well, there you go. And they know that people are going to go in that stadium. They're going to do £7 on a beer, £1.75 on a packet of Walkers. Yeah, they're going to fucking go and sit in the posh seats.
£1.30 a Mars bar.
There you go. And that is just going to, and that is what the Emirates is. And that is what Old Trafford is as well. All three of them, the club shop's going to be rammed. Yeah, because everyone's going to want to get their Conte merch. Yeah, and it's like, yes, it's a massive draw. Don't get it twisted. I'm jealous you've got Conte as manager, man. I really am, yeah?
Well, just question on that. Why didn't Arsenal get Conte? Because
we're a project, mate. Project Youth.
Yeah, but I don't want. It's like, let's not get it twisted. I'm not deluded. Arsenal are a bigger football club than Tottenham. My whole life, you guys have been, that big brother that always bullies us. Winning the Premier League, the unbeaten season, the Henrys, the Bergkamps, the Perez, the Vieira. You've had an unbelievable.
Even Flamini.
In that year, you had all these players. We had Legby King, and that was it. And then Sol Campbell, and he fucked off. Like
to us.
Yeah. The pain. You can't say that name. That name's like a death thing to us. But why did Arsenal not get it? I can't seem to work it out.
Yeah, but do you know why that is? Yeah. It's down to the fans, mate. It really is, right? And people get on my case and say you slag Arsenal fans off all the time. Like, Arsenal fans can't stand me, a lot of them online. Right, because I speak the truth, yeah. And the fact and reality is, a football club is a mirror image of its fan base, right? Real Madrid the other week lost to FC Sheriff at home in the Champions League. What a screamer that winner was, yeah. Right, they were sat top of the table, Real Madrid, having scored, I think it was a record for that part of a season, from the beginning to that part of goals scored, yeah, in La Liga history. I don't know if it's still going now, but it was at the time, right? That whole stadium had the white fucking flags out and were booing, jeering, whistling as them players walked off the pitch. They're top of the table. That is the standard, yeah? Barcelona, I don't know if you see the footage of Koeman the other day when they lost El Clasico. Yeah, and they were all sitting on his car. They were kicking his car, punching his car up and that as he's leaving the ground. I'm not saying do that, right? But Barcelona has put
That's
a
the standard they want.
Yeah, Barcelona put a statement out saying we do not condone all of this, and we're actively trying to find the people that were doing this to our manager as he's leaving the ground. Yeah, right. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, cool, fair enough. That's taking it too far. I've seen Gareth Bale's car get smashed up. I've seen Leo Messi go 3 games without a goal, and they're fucking chasing him out the ground in his car. 3 games without a goal. Messi, the greatest player I've ever seen. Yeah. And they're chasing him out the fucking ground. That is the standards, because the standards are we have to win no matter what. And this is why I want to ask you this, right? Because a lot of people get on my case because I say that Spurs ain't our rivals. Because I don't see you as a rival. We beat you every year. You don't win any trophies, right? And
not a White Hart Lane always.
Well, no, but I mean at home.
Around.
Yeah, I mean at home. Like at home, we beat you every year. White Hart Lane and Wembley. I was there when Lacazette missed that sitter in stoppage time. I was like, you fucking knob. Yeah. But you battered us that day. You deserve to win. But it's like 9 times out of 10, Arsenal, Tottenham, I'm like, well, that's a win. Yeah. So it's like, I know you've had performances and you have beaten us. You've done Dele Alli when he got the bottle hit on his head and all that at the ground. You've done us 2-0 that day, I think. And you beat us at Wembley. You've beaten us at White Hart Lane. But do you see us as rivals? Because I genuinely don't. I see Chelsea as the rival, because Chelsea, if they were in North London, I don't think our fans would be so fucking Bertie with it. Yeah, they'd be looking at Chelsea going, well, how comes they're fucking winning everything?
They set the standard. That's what it is. Chelsea, ruthless football club. If you don't start winning, you're out the door. Where with us, we kind of sugarcoat everything, both clubs. I think from an Arsenal perspective, I don't see Tottenham as a rival, because we're a cup team. Let's be real. Never going to win a league title. With what the last league title was in '61, when we had like Jimmy Greaves, etc. It was black and white. Whereas you've won, 3 Premier League titles before that. You know, the first division in the 70s and 80s, you were good. Like with us, it's kind of like we don't win titles. We haven't won a trophy in over a decade. So from an Arsenal perspective, I think Chelsea is a rival. From a Tottenham perspective, every club's a rival. Everyone fucking hates us. Every team in London is a rival. West Ham despise us. You know, the other day when they were winning against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You know what song they sang the whole game? Tottenham get battered
everywhere they go.
Yeah.
I heard it. I was watching it.
Yeah, Chelsea. Right? Their song where they sing something Chelsea. Before that they sing We Hate Tottenham. You sing Stand Up, You Hate Tottenham. Everyone to us in London is a rival, but our main rival, personally, I think is you or Chelsea. I think the Chelsea one got a bit bigger after that. You know, that game at Stamford Bridge when there was like something like 11 yellow cards. The most yellow cards in any game. We were, chasing Leicester and we bottled a 2-horse race. And then you of all fucking team finished second. And
we were the only team to beat Leicester twice that season. And we bottled the title. When people say that Tottenham bottled it, I always find it funny, right? Because I don't think he was top at any point all season.
No.
But I think we were. Yeah, and it's like you weren't ever top that season. Leicester and Arsenal were top, right? And I remember Welbeck's goal. I was in Tenerife, right? And that was the last time I think I properly celebrated a fucking goal. Like went mad. Like the cups along the way after that. Obviously, I've celebrated. I was at the cup final against Chelsea the following year, and then obviously this cup final. Yeah, obviously I cheered him. But that Welbeck goal, I was in a bar, right, and I've got there, right, and it was the early kickoff, and I'm sat right in front of the TV. I'm like, the TV's just above me. Me and my bird were there, and I'm like, right, beer, let's get on it. Fucking beautiful weather. At half time, I'm obviously a little bit tipsy, right? At half time, I've turned around because it was a restaurant as well. I've turned around, the fucking place is rammed, right? And I'm just sitting watching the game. When Welbeck scored, mate, I fucking slid through the fucking foyer, of this place, right, through the reception. Yeah, and all the way back, I was like, oh my God, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the league. That was the last time, and that was 6 fucking years ago. 6 years ago. That was the last time I've actually thought, you know what, we can win a title. And do you know why we didn't? Because that fucking bastard manager, Wenger, because he only signed Petr Cech. And if he'd gone out and signed a couple of other players, even just a backup striker, a backup midfielder, whatever, we would have won it. Yeah, but when people say you bowled it, you were never top.
I know.
You could have won it, but you shouldn't have won it. And you didn't win it. And that's what I'm saying. We should have won it because we were top. I think we were top at Christmas. And I think we were top quite a few times. And we had a better squad. Yeah, we had the best squad out of all 3. Yeah, and it's like, but Leicester, they had a manager that just had them fucking rocking, man. Riyad
Every
Mahrez,
game,
that
he
ball
knew,
to
he knew
fucking
what to
Vardy
get out
every
of
time.
them. He knew what to get out of them. But question to you, and obviously 99% of your chat will be Arsenal. What is the expectation this season for Arsenal? Like, because I look at it, and I'll be honest, I don't think you're Saka Arteta to the end of the season unless the results go where he goes something like 8 games, 8 L's, 8 losses. I honestly think, I think you'll finish 6th, 5th or 6th. People will laugh at me in this chat, and you probably will as well. I just think with no European football and the fact that you can concentrate predominantly on the league every single week, you know, through Christmas, you know, that period of Christmas always gets everyone out. I think, I mean, who have you got next? I think you've got Watford, isn't it?
Yeah, this Sunday, yeah, Watford.
Is that at home?
Yeah, it's at the Emirates, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be 3 points. Who have you got after that?
Liverpool away.
Okay, you won't. I don't think you'll win there because that's the only team that spanks you.
Then we got Newcastle. Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, United, I probably would back a draw or maybe a 1-0 win. Everton, Southampton, Leeds, West Ham, all winnable games for you lot. And the way that I think at the moment, Arteta is, you know, he's never going to be an elite level manager, in my opinion. Mm. You know, he's never going to be a Mourinho, a Conte. He's just going to be that manager to steady the ship. I was just gobsmacked that you never went in for Conte. You know, I just.
But they wouldn't want a Conte. And the reason they wouldn't want a Conte is because, like, this football club, right, the majority of, and I'll say this every show, right, the majority of our online fans have never seen Arsenal win a league because that was 18 years ago, right? So you have to be mid to late 20s to have been alive when that happened, right? And actually, like, late 20s touching 30, yeah, to realize, oh shit, we've won a fucking league, right? Because then you're touching teenage years then, yeah, right? So this football club has got an online fan base that has never seen us win the title. The online fan base that has never seen us win a title have grown up on a decade of Wenger's bullshit lies. Yeah, telling everyone we can't compete, telling everyone we're skint, telling everyone Chelsea and Man City are ruining the market, telling everyone that fourth is a trophy, right? Telling everyone that, yeah, well, it's the referees and why do they get special treatment? Why do we get leg breaks every week and nothing's done? And all this crap, right? So it's like, it's no wonder, and this is what I said about mirror image of football clubs. It's no wonder that when you look at Arsenal, every football fan outside of Arsenal fans, if you said to them, sum up Arsenal, you go, yeah, kind of pretty on the eye sometimes, but weak underbelly, ain't going to compete for a title. Yeah. And the reason for that is the fucking fans are exactly the same. They're just like excuse. I see something today. Right, I'm going to try and find it real quick, right? I want to read this because I've never heard of this metric ever in football, right? But this is unfortunately where Arsenal are at, yeah? Right, let me find it. Here we go. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. Right. The Athletic newspaper, yeah, online newspaper, right? Aubameyang has made the most pressures by an Arsenal player, brackets 135, with 69 in the attacking third. What the fuck is a pressure and how is that measured?
We should be the champion of that because all we do is put the pressure on people, mate.
But what is that stat? Aubameyang has made the most pressures by any Arsenal player. What you mean he's actually fucking player closes down another player to try and get the ball back. Well, that's his fucking job, innit? And it's like, but that has now been posted out by AFTV with the Athletic on there, and that's gone out and had 15,000 likes. 15,000 people are sitting there going, oh my God, Aubameyang's been pressing like a madman this season. If you actually watch the games, he's been shit. He's been shit all season. Yeah? Like, let's be real. If you actually watch the games, when we signed Martin Odegaard, there was a new metric, again, that I'd never heard of called XT, right? I'd never fucking heard of it. It's expected threat, right? What the fuck is this? I expect to have a shit later on tonight. If I don't, I ain't going to shit the bed, am I? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but expected threat. So this metric was used to make Martin Odegaard have the biggest expected threat in the Premier League from when he joined in January, yeah, to when he re-signed on a perm. And I'm like, are you taking the piss? Who makes this crap up? XG, XA, like, I'm not being funny. What is this bullshit? Use these. If a player's any good, you can see if he's any good, yeah? And then the stats will then back up what you see with the eyes. Stats have never changed my opinion on a shit footballer. Yeah, because if I can see a shit footballer or a footballer, let me rephrase that, that's not performing like people told me he was going to, i.e. Odegaard, Ozil, other players like that. Saka's another one we can throw into that mix because he's been poor for pretty much the whole calendar year at Arsenal. Yeah, but our fans seem to think he's the fucking linchpin of the team that's going to carry us to a title.
Didn't go something like 20 odd games without a goal. I think, you know, what happened to him at the Euros obviously was very, very bad, and it was awful. The racism they got, expected beers.
Oh, mate.
But yeah. I don't think he's been all that. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, does he start for England? Absolutely not. Is he England's top 3 wingers? Absolutely not. Is Mason Greenwood a better player? Yes. But everyone talks about Saka. Like, I get it. He's one of your own, and he's, you know, can play multiple positions. But, you know, has he really done a massive amount? When Dele Alli broke onto the scene, he won PFA Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year in his first season. Scored a worldie from 25 yards against France in his England debut. Got 20 odd goals the second season after that. That's a not a generational player because that's used too much by these virgins, but that's a top prospect. With Saka, what's the highest amount of goals he's got in a season? 10?
5. Well, I think it's 5. I think it's 5 league goals, I think.
You know, so where does all this hype come from? I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't get it.
I'll give you his stats for league. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with the rest because I could score against fucking Farmers FC. But 18-19 season, 1 game, no goals. 19-20, 26 league games, 1 goal, 5 assists. 2020 to 2021, 32 games, 5 goals, 3 assists. This season, 10 games, 1 goal, 2 assists. Right, but if you go and strip back them 5 goals from last season, right, I don't think he's had a goal. I think he's only scored 2 goals since the end of January this year in the league, right? And I'm not slagging him off. Let's see, people like this wind me right up. Stop slagging off young players. Mate, the guy's got number 7 on his back. I'll slag him off as much as I want. If you don't like it, I'm sure there's another channel streaming, mate, that'll suck him off. So go and watch him. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not slagging him off. It's called criticism. And when a player's not performing to the level that I've been told the guy's supposed to be performing to, right, then I'm going to criticize him. The same with any player. I used to do it all the time with fucking other players back in the day before social media. Anyone who's been to a football match, and you've been to loads, Henry, yeah? If this guy thinks I'm slagging off, don't go to a game live, mate. You're fucking, you won't make it. You'll literally have to leave after 10 minutes on an away game, mate. Yeah, the fucking abuse on away games. Jesus Christ. You snowflakes need to grow up. At the end of the day, all right, people are telling me that Bukayo Saka, and I've said this recently as well, Smith Rowe is a better player than Saka, and we'll prove that. Right, Saka I do rate him there, and I do think he's a good player. The problem we've got is he's been run into the ground by a manager who constantly plays him every single fucking game without foul. He didn't even train last week, and he played. Yeah, he went off injured. And the manager said in his press conference, he's not trained. He hasn't trained yet. That was 1 day before the game. But the press conference was done before training. So I don't know if he trained that day. But even so, he only trained once if he did. And he started and played 85 minutes or 80 minutes before he brought Pepe on. He was quality for 30 minutes against Leicester. And then as soon as Leicester reformed their backline, he didn't get a kick. He fucking kept giving the ball away, not showing for the ball. And the thing with me is it's not just him. Yes, he has been poor. He's been really poor, yeah? But it's the manager as well, because the manager's just overusing him. Like, this kid should not be the linchpin of our team. He should be the guy like a Foden, yeah, that comes on, starts 5 games or something, but then he sits on the bench for the next 2, but we'll throw you on.
What is his actual best position? Because I've seen him play right back, left back.
Right wing. He's played everywhere.
If you look at Smith Rowe, you know he's a cam. You know he could play on a wing. You know, these number 10s like Grealish have kind of gone out to the wing and they cut in. With Saka, I go, if he's a right winger that, you know, he's not got frightening pace. He's quick, but he's not got, you know, blistering pace. Can he take a man on? You know, I don't get all this. We'll do the super chat. I want to hear your thoughts for the Watford game, like what you're expecting, but get this super chat out of the way.
No, it's cool, man. I hope Manchester. I hope we lose the Man Derby so Ollie gets sacked, mate. It's mad. It's funny, mate. Listen, Man United are fucking worse than both of us. They're a bigger club and they're fucking finished.
They won't sack him up, not after that. But for the Watford game, what are you expecting? Obviously, you should win. Do you think there'll be much of a threat?
The Watford game, I think we'll win. I think we will win it. But like, I just look at it and I just think like, you know, we've not been convincing in most of our games this season, and people are banging on and on this hype train at the moment about the goalkeeper and about Gabriel and about Tomiyasu, players like that. And yes, they've had great starts to their careers at Arsenal. And for anyone who's heard this a million times in the last fucking 10 streams or whatever I've done, just put your fingers in your ears. I have seen Mustafi do 26 unbeaten when he first joined the club. Yeah. I have seen Leno do 20 unbeaten when he first joined the club. You know, so it's like when these people are putting these players on a pedestal real quick, how many young players have I seen come through Arsenal, right, and look like the next best fucking player and then flop because ultimately they ain't good enough and they get burnt out or they just don't do it. They take their eye off the ball. I've seen loads, mate. I've seen Carlos Vela. Yeah, he was fucking brilliant and then he just disappeared, weren't fucking good enough anymore. I've seen David Bentley. Yeah, that fucker come back and scored a screamer against us. Yeah, for you. Yeah. And it's like, I've seen so many good players come through Arsenal. Like Denilson, like people slag off Denilson all the time. I've seen Denilson slap a screamer, top bins, mate, and fucking run a midfield. Like, no, it's like, I've seen so many good kids come through like and look like they're going to be top players. The problem is with social media now, like people just hype these players up so quickly.
Put a little compilation on Twitter and then you think he's the next thing.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I don't dislike Saka or Smith Rowe. I actually think they're very good players, but you have to use them properly, you know. And Saka has just like the amount of football that kid's played in the last 2 years for club and country is fucking mad.
Harry Kane as well, but they're both burnt out. The only the two England players I think have been consistent since the Euros is Declan Rice and probably Chilwell. And Chilwell didn't play a massive amount. You know, Harry Kane burnt out, Saka burnt out. You know, Sterling hasn't been on form at all, has he? But at the Euros, he was carrying them like flipping 4 carrying the Avengers, mate. You know?
Who's the fella at Leeds with the funky barnet? What's his name?
Oh, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, he's been shit this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like pretty much every one of that England. Who's the other one? Fucking. What's his fucking name, man? Centre backs. Harry Maguire. He's been shit. Yeah, Stones. He can't even get in the team anymore. There's like, if you actually deep it,
poor as well.
Yeah, the whole squad of that England squad, Sancho fucking has just disappeared. He can't even get in the squad anymore.
The disrespect they're giving him and Donny van der Beek is laughable.
Mate, he's not even in the squad for England. That's the first time since his first ever call up. He's been called up every time. He's gone to Man United and now he's not in the squad for England. Our fans are crying because Ben Shite ain't in there. Sorry, Benjamin. Otherwise he cries. Yeah, he's not in there.
Didn't he? Hang on, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he sign for Arsenal but knew nothing about Arsenal and doesn't enjoy watching football? Like,
no, not technically. That's there. Well, it's half right. He doesn't watch football, and apparently he's never watched football since he's a kid. Like, all right, mate, but he loves football.
Footballer, mate. Your job is to study, and I just that baffles me. That baffles me. Like, who have we got in? We've got Højbjerg, massive football addict, watches all different football all over the world. That's your job, mate. Study your opponent, come out of the blocks firing. Like at the moment,
mate, it's crazy
nowadays.
Mate, yeah, but this is the thing. Like, man's going to work with a fucking Cartier ring on his finger, mate. Like, he's in training with a Cartier ring the other day, and it's like, good luck to you. You can afford a Cartier ring. Well done. Yeah, you obviously worked hard to become a professional footballer. Yeah, but like our fans are like, oh my god, he's got a Cartier ring on, blah blah blah, and then he's sitting there saying, before the Palace game, well, yeah, I don't watch football. I love football, but I don't watch it. Well, if you love it, you'd watch it, wouldn't you, mate? Right? Because if you love football, you'd watch it. I just love playing the game. I love playing it. No, you don't. You love the money and the lifestyle it gives you. Right? He then openly admits that he could have become a cricketer and he had a choice between cricket and football and chose football. Of course you did, because the fucking money's better. Right? And then he's got the audacity to sit there and say, because they asked him a question about Vieira, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know of Vieira, but I couldn't give you the finer details of it." What the fuck? You were wearing Vieira's shirt, you prick. Yeah, and you can't tell me about Vieira. But do you know what's mad, right? I don't necessarily blame him for that. I blame the fucking club, because when he walks through that door and they say to him number 4, they should now be showing him every fucking number 4 worth their salt at this fucking football club that's played for this football club. But they just go, oh, there's number 4. Go and do a Sky Sports interview and, oh, I don't really know about Vieira. it was funny because at the end of the game, right, fucking Vieira's on the pitch shaking hands with everyone. Ben White's looked over and Vieira just walked straight past him.
Like the disrespect on that is absolutely remarkable. Like it's like Manchester United number 7. Whoever takes over
I'm listening. I'm just going to grab a beer. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Whoever takes over Ronaldo's number 7, right? You've got to be an unbelievable talent, right? And you know the Man United number 7s, the David Beckhams, the Cavani's, the Ronaldo's. Before that, I think it was Memphis Depay, I believe, wore it. You know, all very good players. If you bring in some absolute dunce, you know, like a Ben White, and he takes over the number 7 and doesn't know the history of the shirt, it's just embarrassing, mate. He's absolutely embarrassing.
Mate, it's a joke. It's an absolute disgrace. And then you've got Smith Rowe come out
as well, yeah.
Smith Rowe comes out a couple of weeks later, or a week later, whatever it was, and says in an interview, "Oh yeah, I love football. I'll watch any game on TV. I'm just a football addict." And I was like, "That's Ben White in the fucking mud." Yeah. But I think like these footballers are clever fuckers, mate. Yeah. Like they are so clever. And the ones that know they've got the fans in their pocket. Yeah, and I'm not saying Smith Rowe did this. I'm just saying in general, I see it a lot for other clubs as well. Right, Aaron Ramsdale's stock at the moment in our fan base is up here, mate. It's off the Richter scale.
Through the roof, mate.
Yeah. So when he's fist pumping the crowd and fucking cheering and everything, fans love all that. You've been home and away and shit. You've seen it. It's like fans love all that. Yeah. And he's fucking took well to it. But somebody like Smith Rowe, for example, is obviously seen all the backlash Ben White got. And when he was asked, yeah, he's then come out and gone, "Oh yeah, well I watch every game, even if it's just a fucking Sunday league game. I'll watch it. Yeah, of course you will, mate. Yeah, maybe he does. But at the same time, he probably does. Yeah, because he does love football. And you're right what you said, and I said this at the time, right? You should be studying your opponent. Yeah, you're not even in the England squad, mate. Yeah, so there's 5, 6 centre backs, whatever it may be, in front of you, and you're not even interested in getting better, right? And you should be looking at the best centre-backs in the league, the best centre-backs in the world, and asking your fucking agent or the club to compile a fucking video of it, yeah, of what they do. Then the player you're coming up against, and I know they do this in fucking training, like with the video analysis and all this crap, yeah, but after that, he should be going home, right, and going, right, I'm up against fucking, who's Watford striker? What's his fucking name? He scored a hat-trick the other day.
Gray.
Yeah, Andre Gray. He should be having a fucking compilation of Andre Gray drafted up, an hour-long fucking video or DVD or whatever, and playing that and watching everything he does with his back to goal, which runs he makes when the ball's coming over the top, across the ground, how he works in the channels, where he's favoured, which way he prefers to turn and all that. They ain't doing that in fucking in a video thing in fucking Emirates or fucking Colney. He should be doing that himself. The problem is he's signed a fucking massive deal, mate. He's on 100 grand a week. He couldn't give 2 fucks about this club, right? And even I don't know how long his contract is, but even if it's 4 years,
100 grand a week.
Yeah, 100 grand a week. Let's say it's a 4-year deal. I think it's 4. Yeah, that's 20. That's fucking 21 million quid nearly. Right now, get a good accountant, do a little bit of charity work, and all of a sudden you've saved a fortune on tax. Now you're fucking sweet. At the end of that contract, he could go bollocks to football. I can't be asked.
And then just chill out and do whatever he wants to do.
He's 27 years old and he's sweet. What incentive is there for that geezer to get better?
This is a big thing at the moment. Players like Dele Alli, right? I talk about Dele Alli a lot because he's not even a shadow of the player he was now due to the money. He's creating his own. He's creating his own clothing label. He's selling his own hats. He's playing fucking Fortnite on Twitch when we're getting slapped by teams, like absolutely embarrassed.
He's banging Pep's daughter. He's loving life.
Yeah. Fair enough. He's scoring off the field, mate. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, congratulations, mate. People would give their right arm for that sort of stuff. But on the pitch, you ain't doing nothing, mate. You're firing blanks. You haven't scored a Premier League goal in play in nearly 2 years.
Yeah, that's mad.
2 years. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, fair enough.
Horrible. This is what football's become, mate. That's how it is. Let me get your quick prediction on this for the weekend. I'm saying 3-1 to City.
Derby. Is it at what's that? Where is it at? Sorry, Old Trafford, isn't it?
I think it's at Old Trafford. Yeah.
I'll go 2-0 City. No, Ronaldo. Do you know what? I'm going to put it out the bag. I'm going to say 2-1 United.
Yeah, it's at Old Trafford.
Watching City's defence last night against Club Bruges, you know, fair enough. They second half, Cancelo torn it on. Who's one of the most informed right backs in the world at the moment. But moments in that, I thought they've obviously rested Diaz for the derby. But I just think United with Ronaldo, some of these games at Old Trafford, they cannot get embarrassed like they did against Liverpool. You know, the club, the fans will not take it. There will be riots. There'll be.
The thing is, Man City very rarely lose 2 league games in a row. And they lost to Palace.
I think he's done it once with Pep, hasn't he?
I think they're going to spank United. Yeah, I really do. Their movement will cause them all sorts of problems, even without a striker. They'll probably play Jesus. They'll probably go Sterling and Mahrez. Yeah, then they'll just have De Bruyne and fucking Bernardo just running rings around everyone. It's just been mad. Although De Bruyne's been shit this season, I can't lie. But
Bruno's been a lot better this season. That was always a big debate. Bruno, KDB, different players, mate. Different players.
Don't you think it's funny, right? That it is funny, right? Because the fucking hero's changed now, isn't it? Like the hero was Bruno last season. The hero is now Ronnie this season. He's the one coming up clutch, and it's like their luck's going to run out soon. And that's why I think you're better. You're a better shout for top 4 because yes, they've got better players, but you'll have a better system. Yeah, you've got a better manager. Yeah, and even if Kane's out, like I've seen you fucking get to a Champions League final without Kane.
Lucas Moura turned into flipping Maradona, mate.
Yeah,
the thing with Man United is that the size of a football club. If they sack Solskjaer, they can attract a big manager. Sorry, and the only other manager that you probably say would take that job is Zinedine Zidane. You know, a few French players there: Pogba, Martial, Varane. Obviously, coached Varane and Ronaldo. Could he take that job? It depends. I don't think they'll sack him if he loses. If they get embarrassed at 5-0, I think they'll sack him. But if it's 2-1, I don't think they will. You know, Gary Neville comes out and says, "Oh, he's my mate. I'm not going to slate him." That fan base is diabolical, mate. That is one of the most deluded fan base besides Tottenham. We have got by far the most deluded fan base. We think we're absolute kings.
Oh, I don't know. We're up there, mate. Like we think, and like how many youth projects have actually banged and won a title? The class of '92. That's it. Yeah, and our fans seem to think that we're going to be in a mate. The proper fucking project youth is going down in West London at Chelsea. Yeah, the fucking team that played against Newcastle the other day, right? And the team that slapped Norwich 7-0 the other day, fucking most of that team that scored against Norwich were fucking youth teamers. Yeah, that's a proper project youth. And they've spent less than us in the last 6 years. Amazing what happens when you sack a manager and get a proper one, isn't it?
The thing is, though, Chelsea have always been that club. Their academy is unbelievable. You know, the likes of Mason Mount, Reece James, etc., over the years. You know, and what they do, how they get money for players. You know, 30 million for Tomori, 30 million for Kurt Zouma. You know, neither of them probably going to start for Chelsea at the moment, but they're still getting big money. 40 million for Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
You know, 100 million for Hazard.
Mate,
Hazard goes to Real Madrid and hasn't even scored six goals.
Mate, let's be real here, right? They sacked Lampard in 9th. They brought in Tuchel. He got him top 4, 2 finals. He won the biggest prize in football, right? He then signed Lukaku and Saúl Ñíguez. That's it. And both of them ain't touched a fucking ball or been sat on the bench. Like Saúl Ñíguez came on the other day. He's been sat on the bench all season and Lukaku ain't played for fucking weeks. So he's basically got the same team he inherited right, from last season that won the Champions League with him, lost the cup final, and are now sat there with 3 goals conceded in 10, scoring goals for fun. Like, and people want to sit there and tell me about process and projects and all that. How about some fucking, like, how about some progress?
What needs who would you recruit at the moment with the managers that are out there? If you were to sack Arteta tomorrow, who
Simeone,
would you recruit
all day long?
But is he?
Yeah,
do you
just
think
phone up Atletico and just say, "Listen, we'll pay you 100 million a year. I don't give a shit how much it is. That bastard needs to be at my football club. I fucking love him."
He's another. They're my Spanish
team. They're my Spanish team. I know they lost last night and their defending was a bit woeful, right? But he is just such a wanker, and I fucking love. Can you imagine him walking in our dressing room and you got fucking Benjamin White sitting there with his Cartier ring on? Fucking his finger would be ripped off, mate. Yeah, and you got fucking Aubameyang doing dance moves, thinking he's fucking like some rapper.
Driving up the green Lamborghini.
Granit Xhaka would get drop kicked back to fucking Germany. Like
he's another player, a manager, that gets so much out of players, like Koke, Jimenez, etc. He's very similar to Conte. I'd love to see, them two against each other. I'd love to see Simeone go to Arsenal, right, and Conte versus Simeone on the touchline, because they both can't sit still. Like Klopp will stand there in his jacket like this and that, and look all this, and Guardiola will wear some Puma fucking shit that he's got out of our sponsorship deal or some crap from the club. But Conte runs up and down, mate. Simeone, you know, when they beat Liverpool last year, will run all the way down to their away fans and started moving his cojones, mate.
Yeah, grab it up. The funniest thing about that, right, is the following game, Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. Because after, I remember that, he was like jumping up and down, right? And then the reporter said to Ronaldo, as he's walking out to go and get on the bus, he said, he went, yeah. He goes, yeah, watching the next leg. And the next leg he bagged the hat-trick. That is mad.
That was an unreal performance as well, wasn't it?
I made that game over the 2 legs was just insane. I can't lie. That was one of the best Champions League games I've ever watched. Big up to everyone watching live, man. Listen, make sure you subscribe. Tottenham have just taken the league. Big up Kenny Ken in the building. Kenny Ken, the real one. Proper. And tomorrow we are doing the podcast. So make sure you come and check that out. Me, Kenny, and Jez will be live on the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to Henry Wright TV as well. The link is pinned to the top of the comments in the live chat. It's also in the title. How many subs you on right now?
Right now, 3,105.
Come on. Listen, there's nearly 500 people watching this. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel right now.
If you get me 500 subs, mate, I'll fly over to fucking Marbella tomorrow.
You was actually not far from me. You was in the Cala, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm back out there again in, I think, April. So, yeah, not far.
When do we play you again?
January.
Oh, okay. That's a shame. Fucking, it would have been funny. We could have sat on the beach in fucking La Cala at fucking, what's the posh place? I went in there and fucking got ripped off for €30 for 2 fucking Olivia's.
Oh,
yeah.
Olivia, that restaurant's a flipping
That's
joke.
a fucking rip-off, mate.
That's Mark Wright's brother or cousin.
Wright, yeah. Mark Elliot Wright, yeah. Elliot Wright, his missus is a fucking bit all right. Like, she is fit, mate. Like, yeah, just Google Elliot Wright's wife or girlfriend. Oh my days, you have had a touch, my friend. Like, honestly, you've either got a few quid or a big chopper or both. Yeah, maybe he has. I don't know. But his restaurant, I'm never eating there. I'd have to fucking get a bank loan or something, mate. It'd be bad. Yeah, I went in there. 2 cocktails came to €31. And bear in mind, where I live, literally 2-minute drive up the road, 2 cocktails is about €12 max.
Yeah.
Ripped off for fucking €19 more, man. But yeah, Son's put Tottenham 1-0 up. I'm going to let you go and watch the game. What have you got coming up content-wise?
So might do a watch along for Sunday's game. Obviously do a preview and a review of the game, and then Monday we're back on my channel for this show as well. We'll be probably reviewing both games. Hopefully Arsenal get a loss at home to Watford, and obviously Tottenham run right all over Liverpool. I just can't wait, mate.
Everton.
I cannot wait to watch Conte, just do a knee slide on a pitch or something, or just fucking punch Dele Alli or so. I want to see something from him. Like, we're paying this man a ridiculous amount of money, but subscribe to the channel. We only hit 3K subs on Sunday, so like we've already gone up 100 and 100 and something. The support has been mad, but this show hopefully will kick off when Tottenham play Arsenal.
That'd be lit. That'd be lit. The previews and all of that, and the shows. Listen, we're gonna make this a regular thing, people. Yeah, every Thursday, 7 p.m. and every Monday, depending on games and depending on work schedules for Henry as well. But it'd be twice a week, same as me and Rants. One on my channel, one on Rants. Obviously, one on mine, one on Henry's. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel right now, people. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. It's been kind of civil as well. Yeah, not anyone hating or anything. Yeah,
that's quite a good name for it. The rivalry show.
Yeah, big up to Anthony as well. I don't know if you've had a few too many Cruz Campos, my friend. His name's Henry, not Harry. That's the Redknapp that used to be the manager, bro. That's the last time they beat us. Yeah, at the Emirates. But yeah, we're out of here. Listen, go and enjoy the game tonight. Your boy Conte is already sourcing it out, bruv. So yeah, we're out of here, people. And laters. Arteta out.